Hello comrades, you're watching the Dodgy Kebab, and today's video is a review of the World of Warcraft private server, WoWCircle. So, WoWCircle is a Russian language server, and you might be thinking of stopping the video right now, but wait! The population here is so large, it makes Molten look like a ghost town. WoWCircle actually boasts a peak of around 50,000 players, but that's counting the players from Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm and also their Pandaria realms. But still, I saw over 4,200 people in their Wrath of the Lich King ×1 realm that I was playing on, which is much more than the 2,500 average that I know that play Molten. But as I said, this is a Russian server, but you can connect using whichever Wrath of the Lich King client that you use. The same one that I use to connect to Dalaran WoW is the one that I'm using here to play, although some players' names will not display properly if you're running an English version, if they have Russian letters in their name, like a backwards R or whatever the fuck this is. Everything appears in the text box fine, but you'll probably see a lot of question marks for names running around. These Russians are able to keep it up for ages, just like some other Russians that I know. Yes, the server uptime is pretty good. I got 25 levels done before I saw a server crash, so it's all quite reliable. Connecting from England meant that I was about 3 hours behind the server's local time, which sounds a lot, but I was still able to get a very fast queue time for low level RDF groups and PvP groups due to the large population. Also, connecting from England, you'd think it might be a bit laggy. No, still under 100 ms. I know in England we have open fibre optic lines all over the place, and other parts of the world companies are doing their best to shit all over their customers, but I was impressed with the speed nonetheless. As I've already said, this is a Wrath of the Lich King ×1 Blizz-like realm. Underline the like part a few times because this realm offers an in-game transmog service. Although it's all in Russian, so I didn't really give it a try, but I did see other players that clearly had it working, so it's a nice little feature to have. As with every server I review, I made Tyrus Flare the prot human warrior and got down to business. I had no problems in the opening area, but once I started going a bit further afield, little problems here and there started popping up. The first was the balked aggro range that the mobs have. Mobs come and attack you from much further away than they should be able to. It's almost like mobs in Hillsbrad foothills will leg it all the way over to Westfall just to give you an arse whipping. I did complete every quest I took, but a few were bugs. In the quest where you have to escort the Defias messenger to the Deadmines entrance, he's supposed to attack anyone that attacks him, but he is clearly not scripted properly and he ignores the fact that he's getting damaged, which in turn got me killed. This just meant a change in tactics, because the respawn time for the mob seems a lot longer than normal here. I went to Moonbrook and just slaughtered everyone first before I tried the quest again. So what I'm trying to get across here is that although there are things that didn't work properly, using my experience and some common sense, I was able to overcome the bugs, although the mob aggro distance required me to change my playstyle quite a bit. Because of the very large population, I was able to use the RDF tool from level 15 in the same way that you would on retail, as in press the button during peak times and you won't be waiting long at all for a group. Because of this, I was able to play quite a few dungeons and get a good feel for the server. I was able to get into dungeons quite easy, but once I was in, I was hit with two problems. The first was the mob aggro range again. Being in a much more enclosed area meant the range aggro bug caused me problems. I had to adapt and change very quick. Someone with less hours of this game under their belt could easily get overwhelmed by the increased amount of mobs that will rush you with every pull. The other problem is that because I couldn't speak the language, I had a real hard time getting my tactics across, because the aggro range problem changes your playstyle quite a bit. As a tank, I had to rework the pull tactics on the fly, and not being able to tell people what I was about to do led to some very messy gameplay. The DPS had no idea where I was moving mobs to, and they had no idea where I wanted them to be. I managed to get through, but it was like playing on hard mode. Like the questing, there are bugs in the dungeons too. In Shadowfang Keep, we managed to kill the end boss at almost the very beginning of the dungeon, and what made it worse is that we didn't even get the achievement. In the Dead Mines, we had to get a level 33 healer to come and kill the last boss because his ads spawned just too quick and he overpowered the group. I wonder if the Wrath of the Lich King content is any better. I wish I could become so powerful that I could just do the raid content by myself.
By the power of Grayskull!
WoWCircle has a realm on the same server which gives you instant max level and grants you overpowered items, which means you can take on raids by yourself. Using this as a sort of sneak peek to look at the raiding and Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, because the likelihood is that the scripts will be the same across both realms. I didn't see any problems in Naxx or Icecrown Citadel, and I could actually complete Utgard Pinnacle properly, which is something that I couldn't do on Molten because it was bugged there. Although on the flip side, once I finished the last boss of the Forge of Souls, I couldn't progress through the portal for some reason. And when the roleplay section of the Culling of Stratholme was playing, Arthur seemed to be talking to himself.
Fuck PvP.
As you'd expect with a server of this size, the auction house is very healthy and well stocked. There is opportunity to make good money from buying and selling items here. The prices are not too high and it's not too hard to start building up your wallet. The auction house truly feels like it did in retail, and things like this help you forget about the other problems. It's time to wrap this up now with my final thoughts. WoWCircle is nothing special in terms of scripting and bug fixes, but having the biggest population of any World of Warcraft server is a massive draw. If you can understand Russian, then this is a brilliant server and I recommend it to you. If you can't speak Russian, but don't want to speak to anyone anyway, you might still enjoy yourself here. It feels like a busy world that is alive with action, and World of Warcraft should feel like that. I enjoyed myself at times, but found him frustrating at others. I can't mark this down for being in Russian because it's not their fault I can't speak their language, but I can mark it down for the annoying bugs, most of all the aggro range bugs, which just kept giving me problems. Also, I did find a few English speaking people here, mainly Ukrainians, so it's not like I didn't speak to anyone at all. Plus, I used the emote system to communicate basic messages like wait, stop, that sort of thing, to the Russian only speakers. I could see raiding being a problem here for an English speaker, but if a whole group of English players all moved here, I'm sure they would enjoy it. There are some large problems here, but there are also huge positives, so this comes down to what is important to you as a player. Thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. For more Dodgy Kebab videos, click on one of the annotations on the screen now, or follow me on social media like Twitter and Facebook, where I post behind the scenes footage and links to other videos that are not posted on the Dodgy Kebab main channel.